Welcome back to the NBA Saga channel. Today we dive into one of the most intense mindsets in sports history, Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality, and the crazy training sessions that turned a talented kid into a relentless legend. Before we really start, make sure you sit back, relax, and imagine you are in the gym with Kobe. The lights are dim, the ball echoes on the hardwood. It is 4 a.m. and most of the world is asleep, but he is already drenched in sweat. Kobe Bryant's story is not just about talent. It is about obsession. It is about an almost unreasonable commitment to improvement. The Mamba mentality is not a slogan. It is a lifestyle. It is the decision to outwork everyone every single day. When people talk about Kobe's crazy training, they often mention the early morning sessions. He was famous for starting his workouts at 4 a.m. or even earlier. To him, that was not crazy. That was normal. He believed that if he could get 1 or 2 extra workouts in every day compared to his peers, the gap would become huge over time. He did the math. If he trained more often than everyone else, year after year, no one could catch up. Kobe once described his mindset very simply. While others were sleeping, he was working. While others were relaxing, he was sharpening his craft. This is the essence of the Mamba mentality. It is not glamorous. It is not always fun. It is repetition. It is discipline. It is choosing long-term greatness over short-term comfort. His training sessions were legendary in their structure. Kobe did not just shoot casual jumpers. He broke the game down into tiny details. Footwork in the post, reading the defender's hips, using angles off the dribble. Same move, over and over, hundreds of times. He wanted every shot to feel like breathing. Automatic. Teammates and trainers often told stories about his intensity. Some players would arrive at the gym early, thinking they were the first ones there. Kobe was already there, soaked in sweat, already finished with 1 full workout before practice even started. Then he would go through the entire team practice like normal. And after practice, he stayed longer. 1 more hour, 2 more hours. For him, the gym was not a place he visited. It was home. His crazy side also showed up in how he trained through pain. Kobe was famous for playing through injuries, but people forget he also trained around them. Sprained ankle. He focused on shooting without jumping. Sore shoulder. He would work on dribbling, left-hand finishes, and footwork. He treated every limitation as a puzzle. If he could not do one thing, he would master another. He refused to let pain become an excuse. The Mamba mentality is also about curiosity. Kobe studied the greats in every field, not just basketball. He watched film of Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. He learned their moves, their timing, their tendencies. But he went beyond basketball. He asked questions to soccer players, tennis champions, business leaders. He wanted to know how the best in the world think. Then he brought that mentality back to the gym. In his workouts, Kobe paid attention to the tiniest details. How to plant his feet coming off a screen, how to use his shoulder to create separation in the post, how to change pace and manipulate defenders. He did not accept good enough. If a move was 90% effective, he wanted 100%. What made his training sessions so unique was his willingness to go to uncomfortable extremes. He would run conditioning drills until his body was screaming. He would shoot jumpers until his arms felt heavy. Then he would push a little bit more. He believed that greatness lives just beyond the point where others stop. He wanted to live there. The legendary stories are not just myths. Teammates talked about him asking for the practice gym to be open in the middle of the night. Coaches recalled him texting at odd hours to watch film. The man simply did not turn off. Even on off days, his mind kept working. He was never satisfied, and yet the most powerful part is this. Kobe never said that you have to be him. He never said everyone must train exactly like he did. What he preached was ownership. He wanted you to find your own Mamba mentality. Whatever your goal is, give it everything. Respect the process. Be honest with yourself. When we talk about his crazy training, we should also talk about how organized it was. Every session had a purpose. Sometimes it was about volume. Sometimes it was about precision. Sometimes it was about testing his limits. He tracked his progress through repetition and trust in the work. The court became a laboratory. He was both the scientist and the experiment. Let's pause here and imagine one of those sessions. The gym is empty. No music, just the squeak of shoes and the sound of the ball hitting the floor. Sweat drips, but he does not stop. He goes through post moves, fadeaways, step backs, pump fakes, drop steps, then catch and shoot threes from every spot, then free throws. Every shot matters. Not because there is a crowd watching, but because he is watching himself. This is the emotional core of the Mamba mentality. It is about the relationship between you and your dream. No cameras, no applause, just you, your effort, and your standards. Kobe showed the world that the real battle is internal. Can you push yourself when no one is there to praise you? Can you get up at 4 a.m. when the bed is warm and your body is tired? Can you face failure, miss big shots, lose big games, and still come back to the gym the next morning? The crazy training sessions also reveal something deeper about Kobe's personality. He was not just trying to beat opponents. He was chasing a vision of himself. He wanted to become the absolute best version possible. That is why he watched so much film. He would study his own mistakes like a coach. He would memorize how defenders reacted to him. He treated every game as feedback for the next workout. Kobe knew that talent without discipline disappears. The league is full of skilled players, but very few are willing to sacrifice their time, their comfort, and sometimes even their relationships for greatness. Kobe accepted that sacrifice. He knew he would be misunderstood. People would call him obsessive, too intense, too demanding. But he believed that the price of greatness is non-negotiable. There is also a leadership side to his training habits. His work ethic was a message to teammates. If the best player on the team is the hardest worker, everyone else has no excuse. He used his effort as pressure, not to humiliate others, but to challenge them. He raised the standard by example. If you wanted to be around him, you had to be serious. Practice was not just another appointment in the day. It was the center of the day. Some of his teammates said that at first, Kobe's intensity could feel harsh. He would call people out. He would demand more. He would not accept laziness. But over time, they understood. He was not doing it for ego. He was doing it for winning. He believed that putting in the work gave them the right to expect a championship. The Mamba mentality goes beyond basketball. It is about embracing the grind in any area of life. Kobe often talked about waking up early to work on his second career after retirement. Storytelling, business, creativity. He attacked those fields with the same hunger he brought to the gym. That is the true meaning of his mindset. It is not limited to points and trophies. It is a philosophy about excellence. Now, let's reach into the emotional heart of his story. Think about how many moments of doubt he must have had. Injuries, playoff losses, criticism from media and fans. People saying he shot too much. People saying he would never win without a certain teammate. In those moments, the crazy training sessions were his anchor. He knew what he had put in. He knew the hours. He knew the sacrifices. When everything else felt chaotic, the work was his truth. And that is where the Mamba mentality becomes inspirational for all of us. You may never play in the NBA. You may never hit a game-winning shot in front of millions, but you will face your own challenges. Exams, deadlines, family responsibilities, health problems, moments where giving up seems easier than continuing. In those times, Kobe's example whispers in the background, keep going, do one more rep, study one more hour, take one more step. There is something very moving about watching old footage of Kobe training alone, because now we see it with the knowledge that his time on earth was limited. Every early morning, every exhausting drill, every new move he added to his bag. All of it was part of a journey that ended too soon. But that intensity, that standard, still lives on in the memories of fans and the habits of players who watched him. If there is one paragraph in this video that needs to hit your heart, let it be this one. The Mamba mentality is not about perfection. It is about courage. The courage to wake up and chase your dream even when you are tired. The courage to accept that you will fail, you will be criticized, you will make mistakes, and still show up to work. The courage to live a life where effort is non-negotiable. Kobe Bryant showed us that greatness is not reserved for the chosen few. Greatness belongs to those who choose to work like their life depends on it, every day. Kobe's crazy training sessions, the legendary 4 a.m. workouts, the brutal conditioning, the obsessive film study. They all point to a simple truth. You cannot cheat the grind. You cannot fake preparation. You may fool people for a moment, but when the lights come on, the truth appears. Kobe wanted to make sure that when that moment came, he was ready. He wanted to be the most prepared player on the floor. He wanted his opponents to feel his work in every possession. Even now, younger stars in the NBA talk about trying to follow his example. They wear his shoes. They copy his fadeaway. They repeat his quotes. But the real way to honor Kobe is to copy his work ethic, not just his moves. To ask yourself honestly, am I really giving everything, or am I just talking about it? In the end, Kobe Bryant's Mamba mentality and his insane training sessions form one powerful message. If you want something extraordinary, you cannot live an ordinary life. You have to be willing to be different. You have to be willing to be misunderstood. You have to be willing to set an insane standard for yourself and then live up to it. As we close this story, picture that empty gym one more time. The ball bouncing, the sound of swishes echoing in the air. No cameras, no applause, just a man and his work. That is where legends are built. That is where the Mamba was truly born. Thank you for watching this episode of the NBA Saga. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Kobe Bryant's Mamba mentality and his crazy training sessions, please don't forget to like this video. Share it with your friends who love basketball and motivation. Comment below with your favorite Kobe moment or what the Mamba mentality means to you. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss our next NBA story. See you in the next video.